Stephanie had schizophrenia and could see things that weren't really there. It could happen her anywhere. She really believed the things she saw were real, which was when she first saw and heard a baby cry next door. She wondered, was she just imagining things? But what really made her paranoid was last week she saw her next door neighbour, Sarah, look around when she came out of her car to see was anyone looking, and she was holding a baby. She knew what she saw, but even though she saw that, she first thought maybe she had imagined the whole thing until she heard the baby cry a few more nights. She told her parents, but they didn't want to know. Her dad just told her that she was imagining it all, and if she went to the police about her next door neighbour kidnapping a baby, then she would be put away. They would say that her hallucinations are causing other people harm and could cause herself harm. Stephanie didn't know what to do, but she knew what she saw and knew it wasn't just one of her imaginations. She said to her mom, "Mom, we need to call the police and get them to go to that woman's house because she definitely is hiding a baby in there. You know she told us many times she is living alone, and why would she say that if she had a baby? Plus, if she is babysitting a baby and if it's all legit, then the police will know and she won't get into trouble, but we can't just keep quiet and do nothing." Stephanie's mom, Greta, said, "Sweetie, you have seen so many different monsters and demons and whatever else that aren't there. This is just another one of those." Stephanie said, "Please, Mom, just go over and ask the lady is there a baby with her and who does it belong to." Her mom sighed and told her to get some sleep. The next day, Stephanie came into her kitchen for her breakfast and said to her dad, "Where's Mom?" Her dad said, "I tried to stop her. She's actually gone over to our neighbour's house confronting her about your wild accusations that obviously are not true." Stephanie ran out the door before he could say anything else. She ran over to her neighbour's house and broke a window, then climbed in. When she was in the room, her mom was standing next to her neighbour, who was pointing a gun at her, and she turned to look at Stephanie and said, Well, look who has joined the party. Your mom here asked me whose baby I had in my house. Well, it's your damn father's baby. He decided to knock me up and didn't tell me keep the baby quiet because people will only start talking. Now I can't have anything come between me and your dad. You see, he loves me way more than you and your mom." Suddenly, Stephanie's mom ran and tried to grab the gun out of the woman's hand, and then the gun went off. They both looked at the door to see it was her dad who was just entering the room. He fell down on the ground as the bullet hit him. He looked up at his wife and said, before dying, "What? Why?" Stephanie's mom still had the gun in her hand and shot the woman who was running at her with a knife. Stephanie said, "Mom, tell the police it was me. I have schizophrenia. They will let me off." Stephanie's mom said, "No, I did this. I will tell the truth." A few minutes later, the police arrived, and a police officer said, "Police, is there anyone else in the house?" Stephanie said, "That woman tried to kill us, and she shot my dad." The police officer looked at Stephanie's mom and said, "I'm afraid you have to come to the police station with me." Stephanie said, "Not her, the other woman." The police officer said, "What other woman?" Stephanie's mom was smiling, in a daze, talking to herself. Thanks for watching The Assassin Rapper, and if you enjoy the content, then make sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of new content. Hi, my name is Siobhan. I was really stressed lately and needed a break away, so decided to pack up work for a week and book myself into a lovely looking hotel in a really nice resort in Florida. Judging by the photos online of it, the place was exactly what I needed. I just needed to get away from everything for a few days, so hopefully a week would do the job. When I had all my luggage packed, I got the cab to the airport and was on my way to Florida. I was so happy knowing I would spend the next week away from all the stress of everything that was going on lately. I was very confident I would feel so much better after the break. When I arrived, I checked in and got the elevator up to my room, left my baggage and headed straight for the beach. It was so relaxing just lying down on the beach with the air blowing in my face. I felt like I was just about to feel the benefits of what I'd feel spending a whole week in this beautiful resort. That night I was in the hotel's bar and I was feeling kind of fed up, thinking that in a week I'd be back to my ordinary life and the troubles and stress will be waiting right for me. But I knew I just had to make the most of being here. Suddenly a guy walked up to me in the bar and said to me, "Hello, I'm very sorry to interrupt you, but I just saw you sitting there and you looked kind of lonely and a bit fed up, to be honest, and I was wondering, would you like some company?" I looked strangely at first, wondering, did I really look that fed up? And then I replied, "Well, sure, thanks. I guess I'd enjoy some company." The man asked, "So, where are you from?" I told him I was from New York and decided I needed to have a break away from the stress in the Big Apple. He smiled and said, "Do you know something? That makes a lot of sense to me, and trust me, this place is like a paradise. If you like, I can show you around sometime." I smiled and said, "Sure, that sounds like fun." Then the man said, "Oh, by the way, pardon my manners, I didn't even ask your name. My name is Sam. What's yours?" "My name is Siobhan. Nice to meet you, Sam." The next day, I was relaxing on the beach with Sam. He spoke. "To be honest, when I saw you alone and looking kind of down, I had to come and say hello." I looked confused and asked him why. He replied, "A few weeks ago there was this beautiful girl who was sitting by herself in the bar, just like you were, and well, she looked to be upset over something. I was going to introduce myself and ask her would she like company, but I didn't. And well, the next day I found out she was after committing suicide by jumping off her room's balcony. I felt so sorry for the girl and told Sam that there was no way of him knowing she was so upset and was going to commit suicide. That night me and Sam were in the bar having a few drinks and speaking. I wondered would it be too soon. When we were in my room, we sat on the bed and had another drink. Sam stood up and said to me, "Do you know what I love most about this hotel? The beautiful view from the balcony." We both walked out to the balcony and were admiring the view. I said to him, "It's beautiful." Suddenly Sam put his hand on my back and was about to push me over when I took my taser out of my pocket and tasered him. He jumped back, feeling surprised I was ready for him. Then I said, "That girl you were telling me committed suicide. We both know that she didn't jump." Then I held my phone up and showed him a picture that was taken of him without his knowledge, with text underneath it saying, "Help, call the police, this man is going to kill me." I called the hotel and asked for my friend Lisa, who you pushed, but when they had sadly confirmed to me she had committed suicide, then I had an expert in facial recognition do a background check on you, and boy was I happy to know that you were working in this hotel. I knew the police would let you off, so I have my own idea of justice. Also, thanks so much for letting me know what type of lunatic you are by wanting to push me off the balcony also. But I'd just like to know why. Why would you want to kill an innocent woman after just killing an innocent woman just a few weeks ago? With that, the door was knocked open, and I heard police shout, "Stop, police!" They walked over to me, and they couldn't even see the damn man lying on the ground. I was cursing this hotel's CCTV footage for picking up my face and letting them finally see me when they were looking for me for months. And I was wondering why, because I knew I was on the run, but didn't know why. It was months later I had learned there was no man. I suffer from a condition called dissociative disorder, which means I was the man, but there was never a man, and it was me who killed my friend. Jack and Linda were devastated one night in 2015 when their beloved dog Huck had gone missing one day during the summer. They both hoped for a week on end that the dog would turn up, and even though it was chipped, they didn't seem to be able to track it. Jack put it down to criminals stealing the dog and removing the chip. Linda didn't want to buy another pet, as she said it would just cause too much emotion with her and her loving memories of Huck. In 2020, Linda was sitting out in the garden, enjoying the sunshine, when she heard something move in the garden. She was surprised, so turned around. To her surprise, she saw a dog with an uncanny resemblance to Huck. It had been 5 years, and she wondered how could the dog have came back after all this time. She couldn't help herself, so she called the dog in a friendly tone. "Here, Huck." Suddenly the dog barked very aggressively. Linda was surprised. She thought of something, but wouldn't find the bravery to check with the dog being so aggressive. But still she saw it. The brown patch under Huck's neck proved to Linda it was really Huck. She was so happy that he had returned, but wondered what made him so angry. She couldn't believe her eyes. After 5 years, Huck had finally came home. She was going to call her husband, but had decided to surprise him when he came home. That evening, when Jack had come home and saw what Linda's surprise was, he seemed to have gone pale. Linda wondered what was wrong, as she was certain Jack would be delighted to see Huck return. Suddenly Huck jumped right up and mauled Jack until his body was lying on the ground lifeless. That night she had a call from her friend Mike. She listened in shock to what Mike had to say. "Linda, I can't understand what is happening, and I'm sure there is an explanation, but I was the only one Jack had told. 5 years ago, Jack accidentally ran over Huck in the driveway and killed him. I helped him bury Huck. Linda, I don't know how this is possible, but before I called you, I went to where we buried him. The dog's bones and everything are gone. There is nothing there." Linda heard a noise behind her, and Huck was standing right next to her and started barking, then jumped right for her.